Hey everybody, this is Kara Crossweight Brindle. Welcome to another therapist feature of one of our colleagues that I'd like to introduce you to. Today we have Nakoma with us, who's going to share what she does with the Medicaid sphere. So Nakoma, I'm going to have you take it from here.
Hi, thanks, Kara. Thanks for inviting me here too. It's really nice to be out here and just to share a little bit of what we do. I am an equine assisted psychotherapist, which basically means I work with horses. They're used as a modality in the Medicaid world, just as you would use CBT, DBT, we use horses instead, but it goes much deeper than that. Those of us that have been in this realm know. We use the horses to help with trauma, or at least I do. I do a lot of trauma work, EMDR, equine connected EMDR, which has been a really huge benefit for people that have gone through trauma. A lot of veterans have found tremendous relief by working with the horses.
Right.
And we do a lot of groundwork. We do a lot of connection with the horses. They're very good in helping us learn how to connect with other people. In trauma, there's a lot of detachment, a lot of miscommunication, misconnections from other people, that there's trust also, trust issues that we have to overcome. There's a lot of other things that are going on behind the scenes that being able to connect and attach with a horse and build that relationship is going to help us build that relationship with other people, and more importantly within ourselves, to be able to trust ourselves and our world and things that are going on. I started with Medicaid, I want to say 3 or 4 years ago, and I've been doing it for a lot of different populations. I was seeing kids for a while, but now I'm just going with 14 and over, because the direction that I want to go in is working more with the trauma and the piece of working from the ground, and being able to build those relationships and doing activities, if you will, that we are able to do from the ground. We start with the connection, grooming the horses. We start building that relationship. Just being near a horse, within 10 feet of a horse, you're actually going to feel a tremendous amount of regulation, because our energies start working with the horse's energies. And since they are so large, that kind of emanates much farther around than just, our 6 feet of distance.
Right.
And I didn't mean that from the pandemic, but the 6 feet of our energy reaches out 6 feet is what I've been learning. And horses, there's 10 feet, so we can actually influx our energy into someone else that's 6 feet away. Now we can't do that, I guess, because of the pandemic.
Yeah,
but
it's really interesting that there's overlap there, right? So yeah. I should tell you, I've only had one experience.
Interesting. Yeah.
I've only had one experience with equine, but I can say that it was very powerful, even as a therapist, just learning more about it. When you're talking about just the energy and the fact that, since you had mentioned they are such big animals, you can see more of like their tells or their signs of like, hey, I feel something from you.
Oh, definitely.
Like they were telling us about if they shudder, if they breathe really loudly, they're trying to tell you to breathe. Has that been your experience as well?
Horses are like 1,000 pound, 2,000 pound, depending on what breed you're working with, lie detector test or biofeedback machine. They definitely do have ways to tell you what you're feeling. If you were to have a lot of anxiety going into the pen, or maybe a lot of anger, working with teenagers, that's a huge thing. There's a lot of anger going in to work with the horse. If you go in and say, oh, I'm feeling fine and everything's peachy keen, you walk into that horse lot or close to that horse, they're going to let you know that you're lying. You're not telling the truth. You're actually not being honest with yourself, or at least with me or your therapist, because they're going to, like you said, they're going to show nonverbals. They're going to walk away. They're going to avoid you, just because they don't want to bring that into their world until you're congruent with your emotions.
Wow.
If you're angry, that's fine. That's, what they're there for, but they want you to be congruent and to show them, and to at least acknowledge that and accept that that's what you're feeling. So
absolutely. And that's why I was so excited to interview you for the Medicaid group, because I think just this modality, as we have to call it, is so powerful, right? Like that there are clients who are interested in this, that they've heard of horse therapy or they've heard of equine therapy, and they're just looking for something different. And so it sounds like this is a great opportunity for clients who need something more unique, or just something they haven't tried before.
Most definitely. It's very experiential. So a lot of times people that have gone through trauma, maybe just sitting in the office and talking isn't their cup of tea. That's not what they're ready for or not able to get
Right.
to that regulated part because their body's full of that trauma, body's full of that negative energy. So by being with the horses, it is helping to get that moving, get that through them, and to work with that.
It's amazing.
Did that answer your question? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I know the horses are walking around behind you. Can you tell our
Okay.
viewers about the horses and their names, things like that?
Well, which one can you see either one of them? They're
Nope.
way down
They're
there. I
walking
can
around.
walk out in that direction and see what we can come up with.
Take a little
I have
tour.
I have two horses that I work with here. I also work at a different facility where we have the opportunity to work with 13 horses,
Oh,
goats,
wow.
emus, chickens, horses, and pigs. So we do have an array of different therapeutic animals that we can work with.
Amazing.
And we are going to be greeted by, I have two here, as I said. This is Nala coming up. Come here,
Oh, she's
baby.
beautiful. Nala.
Thank you. She just turned 2. She likes to knit, but she also loves being around people and eating the camera.
Yep, she's giving me a kiss.
The interesting story with her is my son went out. He was 11. He went out to the rescue with grandma. They were looking for horses. And she had I want to say 6 or 8 different fillies and colts that she had. And this one came right up to him. And he's like, that's it. I don't want to see the other ones. This was the second one that he looked at. And she attached herself to him. And so they've been working pretty well together. And she loves working with kids. And then here we have Sebastian.
Hi, Sebastian.
He's about he's about 10 years old. We purchased him about 2 years ago. He's been doing a lot of coaching most of his life. He's also a rescue horse. He was found in the desert down in New Mexico when he was less than 2 years old. He was found with a bunch of other little colts. So we don't know his story. Nala was found with her mother in the slaughter auction, which she was headed to the kill pen.
Oh, gosh.
So the lady actually rescued her. She wants to eat me.
She's like, yeah, I know you're talking about me right now.
But I really feel like the horses with the stories are the ones that the kids and the adults and everyone's going to connect with more because they share something, and I feel like they can definitely reach places that we can't. I had a teenage, actually she was only 12, say a while back that she feels like the horses, these two, know her better than she knows herself, which was really interesting to me because she was right on the money. She knew exactly where they were headed, and it's interesting.
Absolutely.
So
that's so powerful. I love that we got to meet them, and I'm hopeful that our viewers are going to get a sense that, equine therapy is a fun, unique, powerful experience, and that they can try this out with you. Hopefully,
I would love to have people come out and check it out. If you want to, as a therapist, come out and check it out before you send your clients out here. That would be great.
Awesome. And they can collaborate with you where they can do equine and still do other office-based work if needed?
Definitely. I have some clients that use me as their individual therapist only. And some people just use it as an adjunct with their individual therapy.
Nice.
It can work either way. If you are going to be sending me one of your clients, I would like to just kind of collaborate with you a little bit just so we have the same treatments, plans, and the same goals that we are going to be working towards.
Perfect.
But that's not a necessity.
Mm-hmm. Well, I appreciate you, Nakoma. I appreciate meeting your 2 beautiful horses there. It sounds like there are lots of options. I'm going to invite our viewers to check out your website below, and hopefully they'll get a chance to talk with you further about this. And thank you so much for being here on this video.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Sebastian says thank you too.
Bye, Sebastian. Bye, everybody.